According to the US FDA, 400 milligrams is considered to be a safe amount of caffeine for young adults to consume daily. Now, as college students, I think we can all name times when ourselves or someone we know has far exceeded these guidelines. And it makes sense, as caffeine consumption dates back thousands of years ago and has never been more prevalent than in today's modern era. It comes in various forms, all of which are perceived to improve some aspect of well-being. And although caffeine can improve human performance, I think that young adults are often unaware of the potential health risks associated with caffeine, especially due to a current lack of regulations. Today we're going to look at the various forms caffeine comes in, what the compound actually does to the human mind and body, how it's currently being marketed, and finally I'll touch on some of the potential health risks associated with excess or chronic consumption. And to start things off, I think a very common source of caffeine everyone here knows about would be coffee, with an average cup containing around 95 milligrams of caffeine. Another very popular source of caffeine, especially within younger demographics, would have to be energy drinks. These pack much more of a punch compared to coffee, ranging anywhere from 100 to upwards of 300 or more milligrams of caffeine. Some other smaller, yet still notable sources of caffeine we know about are tea, chocolate, and soda, all of which have around 50 milligrams of caffeine per serving. Some energy bars and even pain relievers contain a notable amount of caffeine, but nothing too serious. And of course, I can't forget to mention energy supplements, specifically pre-workout, which I'll be talking about later here. With such a wide array of caffeine choices, it's really no surprise that 90% of US adults consume some form of caffeine every single day. So what is it that actually allows caffeine to make us feel less tired and more alert? So caffeine is actually classified as a mild stimulant, meaning that it is a drug. And so what it does is it blocks adenosine receptors within our brain. This increases brain function and nervous system function, which allows for increased levels of adrenaline and cortisol within our body. With these neurological enhancements, many people, including myself, turn to caffeine to wake up and get more work done. We all have that one boring lecture where everyone seems to be cracking open energy cans. And not only this, but caffeine is also frequently used in athletic settings, whether it be to wake up before a long workout or get amped up for a new heavy PR. Many people use caffeine in the gym. And a product many people opt for would be pre-workout in this situation. Pre-workout is a powdered, concentrated form of caffeine that also has other legal stimulants and additives in it. And although pre-workout can be an effective tool to help you reach new heights in the gym, it can be very dangerous and easy to overuse, as they come in small scoops that are easy to pile on without knowing what you're doing and can lead to dangerously high levels of caffeine. Caffeine also carries many significant social implications, as it has been long part of many family morning routines. From artisan blends to instant mixes, coffee has been a major social bonding tool for early birds. Even going out with friends or a date, or taking a break with fellow coworkers at work, there's no doubt that caffeine is a catalyst for social gatherings. Especially in college, where energy drinks and coffee seem to be the norm, especially due to strategic marketing by companies. With such a rise in marketing, there's been a 70% increase in caffeine consumption among the youth in the United States, according to the National Library of Medicine. However, not all caffeine products are created equally, specifically these energy drinks and pre-workout. And this is because they can be manufactured as dietary supplements, meaning that they bypass specific FDA safety regulations before reaching the public. And this becomes dangerous because they can use terms such as proprietary blend, meaning that they can mix up a bunch of different ingredients and not specify the actual amounts of each. And many of these common additives in energy drinks and pre-workout can become dangerous when overconsumed. And without knowing how much you're actually taking in, it's always a health gamble when buying these products. The good news is regulations is constantly undergoing reform, which may lead to more strict rules on caffeine down the road. Health professionals are always advocating for more clear labels to make it more safe to consume for young adults. I think we can all recognize the value of caffeine, but we can't forget about those potential health risks associated with excess use. According to research conducted by Harvard University, energy drinks affect heart function and increase blood pressure. Although this is probably not a serious concern for most people, it still shows that caffeine does affect the body's physiology. And this can become dangerous, once again, if you overconsume. And not only this, but if someone who commonly takes caffeine wants to take a break, they are going to experience some severe friction. And this is due to the withdrawal symptoms associated with caffeine, which can include irritability, headache, and chronic fatigue. And lastly, caffeine does work on adenosine receptors, as I mentioned earlier, which do affect how you sleep. And therefore, poorly timed caffeine, like when cramming late at night for an exam, can prove to disrupt our natural circadian rhythms for a long time. Despite these drawbacks, I think there's still a great place for caffeine to be used as a valuable tool to increase our performance. But as young adults, I think we still need to be mindful of these potential health risks associated with overuse. I hope this new information educates you before you go to buy your next caffeine product, specifically because I think that it's still important that we prioritize healthy habits like proper nutrition, exercise, and sleep before leaning on caffeine to fill in the gaps for a healthy lifestyle.